Wii Sports! That's right, we don't sport, we go multiple! It's a game that Nintendo kinda gave away with every Wii. You get a sports! You get a sports! Which means that if you have a Wii and you haven't played Wii Sports, you're officially no longer considered human, and I will go to your house and I will kill you. There's like 3 of you, so I think it fits pretty well into my schedule. I'm trying to say that it's all better than fresh bread, only having a single release, being bound to a specific game system, and it managed to become the 4th best-selling game of all time. It's beaten by Tetris, GTA 5, and Minecraft, all of which have multiple releases on several easily available systems. You know what is also easily available? The subscribe button. I did all my own stuff, so please subscribe if you like my stuff. I love doing this stuff and I need your help to keep it going. And so you got this behemoth. It must be probably the craziest, most fun game ever. It's a tech demo. A tech demo outsold Red Dead Redemption 2. Let that sink in. But it's a really good tech demo. You can genuinely analyze everything about Wii Sports and see a very deep reason for everything that they made. Case in point. Press A and B. We're here in the title screen, and there's already something of note. How do you hold the Wiimote? Like this? Not only is Wii Sports a tech demo, but it is also a tutorial on how to use the Wii. That's genius, especially because they're giving it away. And right off the bat, it starts by teaching you how to hold the controller, pun unintended. Seriously, I'm not an idiot, I know you hold it like this, it's designed after a TV remote, but then again, my dad holds his TV remote like this. And you can perfectly access the game holding it in this method. This simple prompt teaches you how to properly hold the remote in case you didn't pay attention to the multiple warnings. Also, don't tell me you didn't do this, we all did. The sound design of this thing is immaculate. I was actually recording when suddenly a family member entered into my room and was like, "Why are you watching tennis? You never watch tennis, you fucking idiot." And I was like, "It's a game!" It's so good, most of the immersion that is achieved through Wii Sports is thanks to the sound. I particularly like how crowd sizes are extended based on your skill level, leading to louder cheers. You actually really feel amazing when a whole stadium sits down to watch you fail at batting 10 balls. So once you're into the game, it presents its lineup of iconic games. It may seem like they randomly chose the games to put in there, but it's actually very deliberate. They start with tennis, which teaches you the basic usage of motion controls. Use it to whack your grandma! Now, it shows you that shaking the controller is an acceptable input for the Wii console. Not only that, but Tennis for 2 has always been a prime example of a game that's great for testing basic abilities of gameplay systems. That's why they started with Pong and also Space War, but we don't talk about Space War. How do you input? What can you do with the input? What are the response times? Super basic stuff. Tennis basically teaches you, hey, you can swing, that's an input, you can swing harder, slower, upwards, downwards. The direction of which you swing counts as a different input, and the Wii is able to read these things. But guess what? The Wii motion controls can also be incredibly precise.
Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul ball!
Baseball. You do the same movements with the controller, but now up and down are important directions, as well as precision. Am I the only one who got confused the first time they actually saw a real baseball match because the rules on the Wii are just all wrong? Also, who is not at first? But yeah, once again, it's teaching you that the motion controls can be liberal or precise. But that's not all. What if you can press buttons and use motion controls? Turns out that motion controls can have practical usages that require traditional player input as well as motion input. Bowling shows you that all of these features can form strong game mechanics to create gameplay that's engaging and relatively realistic. I say relatively because just look at this crap. How am I missing? How? I also kind of just like the motion that you have to do technically to beat this, because the best motion is not very cool and I can't show it on YouTube, but if you play it, you know what I'm talking about. Golf is then the culmination of all of these features, fusing complex mechanics with their own controls to create an accurate game of golf. One which is challenging to master and accessible to play. You can be a child or a grown-up and these games will entertain you all the same. Remember not to set your golf hand to the wrong hand. Also hold the controller properly, they still didn't figure out calibration, and so sometimes you swing from the right, sometimes you swing from the left. It's kinda crazy, it's kinda weird. Also, this throw right here, yeah, I was just vibrating the controller. It's no surprise that Nintendo can be surprisingly insightful with its gameplay design when they want to, and the Wii itself, it is no exception. Nintendo likes making their commercial tech demos not only show the capabilities of the system, but also the identity of the system. 1-2 switch. It's a terrible subpar game. but it still shields for the ideas of sharing the console and spontaneous play, several very important features to the Switch's identity. Similarly, Wii Sports tries to show the identity of the Wii, and that is to say, it was carefully crafted for you, the player. For me, for us, for some other noun to describe self, for Wii. The Wii is your system. Doesn't matter who you are, it's accessible, it's fun. It's like tuning into a TV with just the channels you want, a TV which is constantly asking, hey, what do you want? It was made for me. I put off talking about this. The me is not the other thing I'm putting off. You know what it is. You've been confused for the last 2 paragraphs of the script. Wii Sports is a me game, and that's because you want to play as yourself in these games using the console's me channel. As I said, Wii Sports is about showing the philosophies of the Wii, the ideas of the way it pushes you to move, emote, and feel the gameplay, all while playing as a digitalized version of yourself. The genius of Wii Sports as a tech demo is ginormous, and yes, it is a mean for us to play it in 2021, but that doesn't mean we can look under the hood to find what it teaches us as players and what made it so great. But it was boxing.
2006 finish, steel-belted mechanics, matte in the interior, and under the hood, the ultimate boxing experience game with dual motion controllers.
Hey, so, the Wii has a second controller? And it's just as precise as the first, if not more? You know, sure, golf teaches you that you can take your time and carefully plan, but teaches you, hey, you can also forget all that planning and precision and just go balls to the walls while learning about the second controller. All in a journey about you going from a lowly dumb boxer to the king of boxing. Little Mac ain't got shit on you, you beaten Matt, you're a legend. Has Little Mac beaten Matt? Of course he hasn't, he isn't you, he's not in the game unless you make him, but then it's not you, you got what I mean. Oh, also I didn't beat Matt myself because my arms are in massive pain. But Box brings together everything that the game has been building up to in a neat little package that will get you to move, emote, and feel the real Wii experience. Not only do you learn to play the console, but you also learn how you should feel while playing the console. The input that you did in real life is the input that got you to victory. That's the way you should feel. And that is something that no tech demo has ever been able to do ever again. Wii Sports is such an amazing tech demo because it does this. It tells you this is what the system is about, this is how it's gonna be like every single time you boot up the game. And that's why many people remember the Wii as such a memorable system, because there's games like Wii Sports that made us feel like we were in the game and we completed the game by our own merits and not just through pressing some buttons. People go on about Matt, by the way, but can we give it up for Haley? She's also an absolute legend. Well, regardless, I still have to talk about training, which has challenges for all of the games, but those are extra, very fun. I like all the boxing ones, the atmosphere is super relaxing to me for some reason. Also the tennis one with the brick wall, super fun. I like the training music for baseball a lot, and the bowling ones, they are tricky as all hell. But the 91-pin bowling game is satisfying as hell to look at, even though I can't get a single strike cause it just keeps tilting to the right! Never clicked on the golf training until this video and I felt pathetically while trying. You can get medals in these, so that's a little challenge for you. I mean, for some reason I'm kinda compelled to play 20 hours of Wii Sports just to do well in the training games and get a pro level in every sport. There's some appeal to 100% completion of Wii Sports, and I guess it has something to do with how satisfying they made it when you perform well in the games. For a tech demo, the gameplay loop is so defined. It actually gives you more hours of gameplay than you'd imagine, and that's why you have 6 hours of footage for a 1-hour game for a roughly 8-minute video. I'm justified. But the best part of it all, the one part that would lead the video off, Matt noises.